In our last video, we were in Palatka, Florida. We checked out the amazing displays of murals on the buildings, walked the streets of the old downtown, and checked out an incredible historic neighborhood. In this video,
we're in Crystal River, Florida.
For context, we visited Crystal River in early March of 2024.
So we're starting our journey today at the site of the first train depot in Citrus County. It was built in 1887, although that original depot burned down in 1900. It was rebuilt in 1901. The Lions Club has occupied this site since 1991. The train depot sits on Crystal Street. Now, most people enter Crystal River today using the highway, but until the 50s, Crystal Street was the route into town. And in 1907, a women's group planted these oak trees along each side to form a canopy to showcase their city. Only 15 of the original trees exist today, but you can see it's still really beautiful.
What you see here is the Crosstown Trail. It's a 1-mile paved trail. After checking out the old depot, it was time to make our way into downtown. This town celebrates their relationship to the Florida manatee, and there's evidence all over the place.
Now, Crystal River is a pretty small town. It has a current population of about 3,400. In the 1800s, farmers began settling the area, and the town itself was incorporated in 1903. As Jeff said, they are the self-proclaimed home of the manatee.
Crystal River contains springs which maintain a constant temperature year-round. That's what attracts the manatees in the wintertime when the Gulf water temperatures get a little too cold for their liking.
As a matter of fact, it's 50 springs that feed that area, making it the second largest group of springs in Florida, and that year-round temperature of the water is 72 degrees.
The water temperature of the Gulf in the summertime can be around 90 degrees, which means it drops quite a bit in the wintertime, obviously below 72, usually somewhere in the low to mid-60s.
Today we're in Crystal River, Florida, which is known for its manatees. We've been up here before, but it was for the Manatee Festival and it was really crowded. So now we're getting a chance just to see the city as is. So come along for the ride. We're approaching US Highway 19, where we'll cross and really get to the heart of downtown.
As you can see, this part of downtown contains a lot of the local shops and restaurants. To get from this section of the downtown to the other side, you do have to cross Highway 19. So be very careful. That's a very busy road in this part of town. Now we're entering what we consider the heart of the downtown. It's approximately 3 blocks long, so don't blink, you might miss it.
Yeah, this section includes several bars and restaurants as well as outdoor outfitters. I thought this building was really cool. This is the old City Hall, which was built in 1939 and used until 1970. It now houses the Coastal Heritage Museum. However, that's listed as temporarily closed, and best I can tell from the internet, it looks like it closed about 4 years ago.
At this point in the video, we're making our way towards the waterfront. The waterfront is really cool, and we only knew about it because we were here earlier in the year for the Manatee Festival.
Yeah, the Manatee Festival is a really cool event. It's held annually in January, starting back in 1988. There's food, vendors, music, entertainment. You can go out on the water for excursions. They block off all the streets in downtown. It's really cool, and it brings in 25,000 attendees per year.
Yeah, that's a lot of people when you consider that the town only has a population of under 3,500. The pathway we're on now is the Riverwalk, which is a very nice but short walkway around the waterfront.
And here's our first glimpse of Kings Bay. Crystal River actually sits along Kings Bay and the Crystal River, which is only 7 miles long. It's basically all an inlet of the Gulf of Mexico. As Jeff mentioned, the manatees like to congregate here in the winter. Kings Bay can actually be home to over 400 manatees at a time, and this is the only place in the United States where people can legally interact with manatees in their natural habitat.
Put a bit of a qualifier on that. Swimming with the manatees is something you can do in this area, and if you choose to do that, it is absolutely okay for them to come up and touch you, but you cannot touch them.
So in case you don't know much about manatees, they are mammals, and oddly enough, their closest relative is the elephant. They swim, but they kind of meander. They only go about 5 miles per hour. They weigh between 1,000 and 3,500 pounds, and every day they eat about 10 to 15% of their body weight. Since they're herbivores, this is mostly underwater grasses, so that is a lot of grass to fill up 10 to 15% of their body weight.
Yeah, Caroline and I can tell you from firsthand experience, if you like to kayak around the Gulf, particularly the tributaries and the canals, don't be at all surprised if a manatee doesn't come and join the party. It's not unusual at all for one to come up right underneath or right next to your kayak. It's a very cool thing to witness, and we consider it an absolute treat.
Yeah, seeing a manatee is really cool. And not only are they big, they can live to about 60 years old because there's no natural predators.
Yeah, far and away their biggest threat, besides loss of grass to eat, are careless boaters who don't obey the no-way clause. The manatees, like we said, like to come up to the surface, so it's not unusual to see a manatee that has scars from a propeller. So if you're a boater in the area, please be careful and obey those laws. And here's another view of Kings Bay from a popular boat and kayak launching area. So after checking out this awesome waterfront, it was time to head back into the heart of downtown and find something to eat. Well, and you know me, and something to drink as well. And this is one of the rare towns we visited where I was not able to find a craft brewery, at least in the area that we visit. If anybody's from Crystal River or the area, let me know if there's one I missed, and next time we're in town, we'll check it out.
And now we're coming back into downtown on the other side of the street.
And as usual, we made a point to check out some of the side streets as well. If you're interested in checking out the manatees firsthand, this is a good place to start. This picture depicts one of the popular activities of the area, scalloping, which is awesome. I did it for the first time last year and can't wait for the season this year.
Taking pictures of a city's water tower is something we started in Kansas, but we've been able to continue that as we explore Florida. Our last stop as we head back to the car was Heritage Village, which had quite a few really quaint shops.
As with most Florida towns we visit, signs of patriotism are on display everywhere. It's awesome.
And here's a bit of a throwback to our Kansas days, paying homage to the Wizard of Oz. There's the Wicked Witch's legs.
And with that, it's time to wrap this video up. Okay, what'd you think of Crystal River?
Crystal River is very charming. We were here once before, but it was really crowded and I didn't get a chance to really enjoy it. But what a beautiful waterfront area where you can go kayaking, and the downtown is so quaint. I just love it.
The core downtown is very small. In fact, we've gone by this thing on 19 a few times and didn't even realize it had a downtown. So if you blink, you might miss it. So unlike our usual protocol of just winging it, this time we did look at a map, and I'm glad we did, because right next to the core downtown is where the water is.
Right.
And that was just such a nice surprise. It's beautiful. This time of year is very popular with tourists. I think the manatees are starting to work their way back out, but about 2 months ago, this place was packed. As she said, there was a festival here, and that's where we really learned about the downtown. So this is a huge thumbs up for me.
Totally agree.
All right, get off the couch. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.